think we should start.
Okay, then you get to hear my introduction, because normally I do my introduction before the game begins.
Yeah.
Before I pick you up, but today it's different.
It's different.
And to tell you the truth, this lady here is pretty different. And by the time we finish chatting, I think you'll see that's the truth. So let's start.
Gee, I'm so impressed with this whole setup.
Isn't it great?
It's very organised.
Oh, very organised.
Very organised.
You're throwing in.
Yeah.
Already.
Exactly.
And we haven't even started.
I could even go, oh my God, you're so organised.
Oh my God, I'm so organised. Welcome to Hypnosis in Action.
This is great.
I am the Outback Hypnotist, and we are going Smartie trekking. Are you excited?
I am. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so actually I think we might just drive around this area, because it's one of the older areas of Brisbane.
It is.
And it's just, there's some sensational stuff around here, isn't there?
This is the one I like. There's this old church. Like there's the church on the corner, and then there's like the seminary or the house that the priest lived in. And then there's horses.
Yeah.
And then there's another old Queenslander with another cross on it. So that must have been somebody else's, the Verge's house maybe, I don't know. But yeah, every now and then I'll be working in my office, happily doing my thing, tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden it is, come down the street. And it's like 2 or 3 horses will come walking by the window. It's like, okay, that's weird. Don't see that every day.
Well, look where you are. You're right next to one of the biggest racing sections of Brisbane.
Yeah.
And not up until not too long ago, like 15 years ago, it was legal to build, I don't know what they call them, where you have horses.
Oh, stables.
Stables.
Yeah, there's still people with stables.
There are still stables, but you can no longer, if they sell them now, you can no longer
knock them down.
Well, you must knock them down. You can no longer keep it on as a stable if you sell the property.
That would explain why there was that huddle of flies the other day, all sitting around having a conversation.
That would be it. That would be 100%
because every time the horses come in for the weekend races, you always know
because of the number
because they have their own private meetup outside my window.
Fabulous.
Yeah, they sit there and they chat about there's this really cool horse that you need to go and see. The menu is really, really good at that particular address. So yeah.
So tell me, do you know why you're here?
Does any of us know why we're here?
Oh,
that's the big question.
Oh, that's so cool.
If you've read your Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the answer is 42.
I'm just not going to get a word in, am I? I can feel it already. You are here because I believe that we are all hypnotising ourselves every day.
Oh, yeah.
And most of us are doing it in the wrong way.
Oh.
And when I say most of us, I mean 19... Well, let's discuss that as the day goes on.
All right.
So, I ask people that I feel are impressive or people that have already sat in that seat feel are impressive to come for a ride with me.
Right.
And we discuss it. Okay?
All right.
And as we travel around, and this is the 3rd time I've not been able to do it because I've been telling myself I'm going to bring my Spider-Man notebook and a pen with me to write down the answers as we go along, but I haven't managed to do that.
And I
don't write them, but I have to remember by the end of the show, and I really never do it.
Okay.
So what I'm listening for are the ways you are hypnotising yourself every day.
Oh,
okay.
I like that.
And I point it out. And I say, that's why you're doing well, because you're thinking differently. Okay, so that's where we are. So tell me, Leisa.
Yes.
Who are you? Tell us all.
Oh.
All about you.
Me? I don't know. Where do you want me to start?
I don't know, but there's this lady over there looking at our car, and she's really looking at us. Oh, that's right. It's not just us talking.
No,
this car.
It's the car itself.
It's the car. Yeah. Okay.
A little camo car. Well, where do you want me to start?
Well, start where you believe is the best place to start.
Oh, the best place to start?
Yes.
Good Lord. I have no idea where the best place to start is. There's so many different parts of my life. I mean...
Okay.
Actually, I was just having that conversation with Paul Barbie that even 6 months ago, the person I am now compared to the person I was even 6 months ago, completely different person.
I would agree with that.
And then the person that I was this time last year, I don't even know her. She's like an alien to me.
So are you in a good place?
Very good place, really good place. For the first time in my life, I'm actually surrounded by people who are super, super supportive, huge cheers squad, but honest. If they see that there's something about you that might be benefit if you change a little bit, or you see things from a different view, there are those who have a fabulous level of tact and vision to be able to help you move yourself, elevate yourself. And what you do with that information is completely up to you, of course. There's some people don't hear it, but you know, if you're open to what people are saying to you, it's not necessarily criticism, it's just your opportunity to have to make yourself better. And that's what I really appreciate. I'm surrounded by people at the moment who are elevating me as a human being, and as a friend, and all those things every day. And that's very cool. That's really cool. And that's unusual for me, because most of my life was spent...
That's what I was trying to pick up on. You said for the first time in your life.
Yeah, because
So who did you spend your time around?
Wow. Well, school was one of those places. I went to St Margaret's, and an all-girls school, and it wasn't exactly what you would call the most convivial environment to my mental growth.
Right.
In fact, it was more like being held down and punched repeatedly.
Are we talking actually held down and punched repeatedly?
No. Girls don't do that. They psychologically attack, which is even more lethal, I think, because it does far more damage. At least if you get hit in the arm or an arm gets broken, it heals and you move on, you can keep on going. But I think when people mess around with your head, that's a far more diabolical kind of arrangement. So I learned very early that large group of people equals attack, potential attack. Okay. So I've always held myself away from people because of that very thing.
And this has changed in the last 12 months.
And this has changed. And mainly because of the fact that these are all heart-centered, very open people. And yeah, they are so secure and strong in themselves. And they're all learning and growing too. You know, they're human beings as well, but they're sharing their depth, their strengths with others, and it's cool. And but in an inclusionary way, not an attacking way. It's all very, very healthy. Very healthy.
Very healthy.
Yeah, very healthy.
So, would you call this family?
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, okay. I'm trying to put words to it, exactly what you're saying here, and I'm struggling because I can see it standing out.
The thing is that these people are my friends, but they're beyond being friends. Mm-hmm. I don't know how existentialist you want to get here, but I live by a little poem that it's not even a poem. It might be a statement. I don't know. And look it up online. It's called "A Reason, a Season, and a Lifetime."
Yes.
And I believe
people
that
come into your
people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Yeah. And
we did that in duo. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know. Synchronicity.
We should
and all that
sing or something. No, that's a different show.
That's a different show altogether. Yeah. And let's don't do that.
No.
I am not Lady Gaga. No. For example, I had a beautiful, beautiful friend named Denise, and we were friends for about 2.5 years. When I moved up from Canberra to Brisbane, she was probably one of the first people I met when I came up here, and she started off as a colleague because I used to have my own travel agency, still kind of do, starting to be phased out. And Denise was one of those people that I met. Anyway, she and I became very, very tight. We used to do a lot of stuff together, would hang out. Work-wise, we did stuff, private stuff we did together, very supportive, and she was a great friend. Unfortunately, recently she just passed away, and very, very unexpectedly. It was a bit brutal, very, very hard to take, still a bit hard to talk about, but she was in my life for a reason. Yeah. She wasn't here for a long time. She was here for a reason, to teach me something, which I got the message, Denise, if you're listening, I got the message. And the preparation that she gave me was able to be more open to the people that are in my life now who are taking me to another level again.
Yeah.
And that's why from 6 months to where I am now is why I've changed so much.
Okay.
So a reason and a season and a lifetime, go look it up online. It's really, really awesome. One of my favourite things. And it also helps you let go.
Yep.
Like, it was terrible to lose Denise so unexpectedly. But for me, I've been able to go, well, what a gift and what a joy having had at least had her in my life.
Yes.
And I can sort of say, okay, thank you for being there, and I let you go. She's got other things to do now. So, and that
Other
leaves
people to teach.
other people to teach, other lessons to go on to learn for herself in whatever existentialist world of thought you like to come from.
Stables.
Yeah, stables. Yeah, a lot of stables around here actually. See these ones where they've converted them into businesses as well? Oh no, this one's still a stable. But a lot of people have redone them as like home offices.
Mm.
So it's kind of interesting. A lot of them have just been pulled straight down,
Yeah.
which is a bit sad. I kind of like the ones with the stables. My sister had an old Queenslander, which is over on the other side of Nudgee Road.
Mm-hmm.
And her house had stables, and they always looked really cool. All these horsey bits and pieces around here. I didn't realise there were so many paddocks back here. I haven't been back here for a while.
All the floodplain.
The floodplain, yeah. Back of Nudgee Plains. Yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. What else do you want to know?
I'm still picking through that. So how do you what do you think the difference is? Pick some differences between you now and you 3 years ago. Because you've been a business person for a long time.
Yeah, actually, me 3 years ago was I'd just come back up to Brisbane from living in Canberra, where we were down there for 10 years. We were supposed to be there for 3 years, stayed 10. Yeah, sucked in, go to Canberra, stay a long time. What the hell? But I shouldn't pan out poor Canberra. Canberra's awesome. It's a beautiful place. But when I was in Canberra, I actually became really quite ill. I developed panic attacks and anxiety.
Yeah.
All born from a series of events that just, and a cautionary tale to all that are listening, don't hold things in, people. If you have stuff that happens to you, go deal with it properly. I come from a family where it's sort of like, don't overreact, don't blow things out of proportion, stay controlled and whatnot. And that sort of stuff is just really not good when your husband loses his, well, he didn't lose his job, they quartered his wage. A couple of months after...
1 quarter.
Yeah, he quartered his wage. It was ridiculous. We just bought a house and my son was going to Canberra Grammar School and he loved it and didn't want to leave it, and it was like, oh God, what are we going to do for money? And anyway, that's another story. A couple of months after that, my mother passed away unexpectedly. A week after she passed away, my fabulous brother-in-law, who I just thought the world of, was diagnosed with brain cancer, and we got the wonderful wonderful gift of how that unfolds. What an awful way to go. But his family was very brave about that, and the way they handled it was amazing. I still don't know how they did it. Not long after that, I saw one of my best friend's husband walk out on her unexpectedly, and then the same thing happened to my other sister. All of these things just happened in rapid succession, and I'm just going, no, it's fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, just keep moving. If I just keep moving, I'll be fine. And then I was on a flight.
It's the way we're taught to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, and particularly in my family, it's sort of like, oh, you don't, no tears, don't cry. That's weakness. Don't do that. So you keep yourself all buttoned up, very British. Anyway, so I was on a flight to Canada for a training thing in travel, and we were flying over from Sydney, kind of over the top of Hawaii and into Vancouver, and all was quite fine until we kind of got the other side of Hawaii, and there was a massive storm that came down through the Bering Strait. Oh my God, I thought we were all going to die. not just once, but multiple times over the next 8 hours. There was no food service. The crew was strapped in. You know, there was no movement on board apart from the collective quivering of cabin people in a cabin together, and just it was horrendous. Nobody was sleeping. It was just vile. And so we got off the other end, thankfully, and I was so exhausted. Plus all of this emotional exhaustion that I'd been squirreling away for such a long time, got a little unsettled. And we jumped into a van, and we went here and there and made us look at this, and again, didn't get to sleep until about 11 o'clock at night, exhausted, completely exhausted. And the next day was another day like that, push, do. And I was coming up a hill with one of the other girls that were on the group with us.
Driving, walking.
Walking. And we were walking up this thing, and she said, "Oh, come on, we'll go back to the room, we'll get cleaned up before we go to dinner." I said, "Great, that's cool, let's do that." And she sat down and looked. She says to me, "I just want to make you aware of something, just in case." I said, "Oh, okay, well, what's going?" She said, "Last year, I had a stroke. So if something should happen," and she said it in all innocence, but what she didn't realise was that
Big straw
tipped me over the edge. And I had my first panic attack. I had no idea what was going on. I thought I was dying. I thought I was having a stroke or something, you know, because have you ever experienced a panic attack or an anxiety attack?
Something that I probably could call that,
Yeah.
but it's a long, long time ago, and I'm
Well,
not sure.
your heart rate starts going through the ceiling, and you get very, very dizzy, and your breathing gets completely out of control, and it's the heartbeat thing that's the most. It's just horrendous, and you start to shake, and you're just freaking out. Pretty unpleasant thing. So that's what I fell into, and it took them about 4 months to diagnose the fact that that's what was happening to me, was I was having panic attacks. And by then I was a complete basket case. But that's what was happening to me down in Canberra, and it's taken me 8 years to come back from there.
Yep.
And coming back to Brisbane was kind of one of the last shedding of the negative, because I had to retrain my brain to stop hyperactive, like being hypersensitive, hyperactive in its thinking. And so I had to learn how to teach myself to not do it. Like, okay, brain, thanks very much, that's not a good idea that we're going off that way. Let's bring it back to being sensible, and learning how to walk into fear rather than avoiding fear was another thing that I had to learn how to do.
Learning how to walk into fear rather than avoiding fear.
I used to call it my waterfall theory.
Oh, yes.
And that, you know, big raging waterfall looks really hard, lots of water spraying everywhere, you could drown, you could hit your head on a rock. But if you can swim through the waterfall and that hard, scary thing, on the other side is beautiful orchids growing in little crevices, and glowworms and fireflies, and it's like a little fairy place. So if you can go through the fear, often we just imagine the fear to be a lot bigger than it actually is. So that was my waterfall thinking.
Okay. So we're going to call your waterfall theory one of the ways you are hypnotising yourself.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Because the thought of walking into fear, and the way you have made such an incredible metaphor around that, and taking it and bringing it inside yourself, that's so cool. That is so cool.
It made such a big difference. Being able to, you know, people say the old saying, you know, face your fear and do it anyway. Same thing, essentially.
No.
Get a visual.
See, the words are one thing. What you've done is you've created it metaphorically and made it a part of you, and that is the difference between saying, "I just face your fear and do it anyway."
Yeah.
You know, that's a meme it's a bad meme on Instagram.
That's got a cat involved.
Yeah, there's a cat there. Yeah. Yeah.
Or a dog.
Look, I think it's looking into the mirror and it's a lion on the other side
That's
or
right.
something.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
Very
Okay.
memeish.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what was going on down in Canberra, and we finally got to a point where my son had left school and we could leave Canberra. So we came back to Brisbane, and it just suited us perfectly because we went from being in a place where, you know, there was so much pain, well, for me particularly, so much pain and anxiety and, you know, struggle and discord and all of those ugly sort of negative kind of connotations. And I could shed that and come up here, and suddenly we were going walking, and I was losing weight, and I was feeling really healthy and happy, and my attitude started to shift again, and we were going out with friends, and there was an increase in laughter. There was laughter in my life again, as opposed to hiding in a corner and wanting to die. That was like the final healing stroke. And so here I was still with my travel business as well.
Yep.
Happily doing my travel business. Kind of started feeling a bit it wasn't quite doing it for me, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe I'm just wanting more from the business. So I went and did a marketing course, and I did that for a year and came back to the business, and something still wasn't quite right, and so I was still looking for answers, and then I engaged a business coach, which is why I have these people around me now. And it was suggested to me that maybe I had something else that I could do that I was better at than travel, and that's how I ended up changing the business. Now, I can look back and say I chose to make my life infinitely more difficult by doing that, which is how Organise Me Girl came into being.
Right. Yep.
But I identified only recently, only in the last month and a half, I realised that it was the last vestige of that pain and that ugly part of my life. My business kept me focused and afloat, and it was my little lifeline. But it was like, okay, I can cut the cord on that as well and let it go and face something that's new and challenge myself again to start from fresh, start from absolute scratch. Things that I do innately as an organizer and help businesses. I could have stayed in the safe place and kept doing what I was doing, but I realized that getting rid of the travel business was the shedding of that last vestige of negative emotion, negative environment, and going for pure change.
Okay. Can I throw a question at you?
Sure.
Let's say, okay, that this is a totally different universe.
Yes.
Okay. That everything you've done to get you to here and moving forward failed.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you still be in a better place?
Yes, I think I would be, because I'm not the sort of person. I can remember when I was having the panic attacks, and one particular night, being on the floor, because when you have panic attacks, the best way to move out of it is through physical movement.
Yep.
And so I would sit on the floor and do sit-ups, or I would do press-ups on the lounge or whatever, and I was doing that. And I looked at my husband and I said, I don't even know who the hell I am anymore. I don't even know me. Who the hell is this person? I've been invaded by this person I don't even know. I don't know me anymore. Where did I go? That left, and I became me again. But then I've transcended even the person that I was referring to that I'd lost. I've actually become more than that. And a lot of people say to me, oh, that's terrible, it sounds awful, I bet you wish you'd never gone through it. And I said, no, I'm actually really pleased that I went through that, because by doing that, I've got a lot more compassion for people who do have mental health issues, have a lot more patience with people who find things hard to approach, and I can see things in a different way because of it. So yeah, I think I would still be moving forward even if I was in a different universe, because that's my nature, is that I don't settle for, I won't settle for pain, I will fix it. Yeah.
Cool.
Everything is fixable with a good laugh, I believe. Again, something we were only talking about this morning.
Everything is fixable with a good laugh.
Yep. You can rewrite everything as long as you can keep a smile on your dial and you can have a good laugh and you can be positive about things. You can change anything. You start going down the rabbit hole of negativity and I can't, I suck, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. Well, yeah, firstly, you're manifesting that shit. And the other thing is that you're going to stay there. Your head's going to be set in that space. You have to make a conscious decision. No, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm not settling for this. So moving forward, always looking for the better path, always looking for, and looking for that for your friends and family too, just always looking for how you can help them, things you can do for them. I really get off on connecting people and making a difference for people, even if it's a little bit. That's the thing that makes me go, a little bit goofy. It's my thing.
It's my thing.
It's my thing.
Okay. Oh, so cool. Look, okay, so, as I said, it's my job to try and find ways that you're hypnotising yourself every day.
Right.
Okay, number one, you have, and though you didn't put it in one word, and I like to take a sentence that you've said and say, there, that's it. You didn't do it. But the firm belief that seems to be right down inside is that surrounding yourself with the right people is going to take you to the right place.
Oh, yeah. And
Okay,
I think that's the same for anyone, really, isn't it?
Well, it's the same, but it's not the way a lot of people work. So that's actually a common one. It's something I'm running into a lot.
Yeah.
Those 5 people around you, you're the average of that the old Brian Tracy thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and number 2 was your waterfall. That was just glorious. That brought in my own mind up pictures and images and things.
Would you like to hear my other one? And
Please.
how I retrained my brain on another one, and it's called the empty lot.
Right.
Okay,
okay, so question is, this is something that you've been given by someone else, or you've just created yourself?
Just created myself. All right, so the empty lot. Okay, so you got to imagine yourself that you've got a job that's a couple of blocks away from your house. You can walk there every day, and you have the choice of going a long way around on a path that's being paved and it's easy to walk and it's comfortable and it's and you do it every day and it's easy. It's the easy walk, but it's longer.
Yep.
Right beside your house is an empty lot, and on that empty lot, the grass has grown up to your shoulders. There's weeds and brambles, trees that are kind of all grown over. There's snakes in there, and there's spiders and other bugs that you don't like. And it's just like nobody goes in there. It's an empty lot. It's an empty lot. Nobody's going there. But it is the easier, faster way to get where you want to go. So what you do is one day you walk outside your house and you go, okay, I'm not going to go the easy way anymore. I'm going to take the tough route. I'm going to go through the shoulder height long grass with spiders, with snakes, with brambles, and I'm going to push this over. So you stand on the edge of it, you take your first step into it, and you sort of push your way through it, you sort of stomp it down a little bit, and you walk through it, and you keep going, and you're getting things caught in your hair, and oh Jesus, there is a snake there, and a spider there, and you keep going, and you keep walking, and you walk, and you get to the other side. Awesome. And you walk your merry way off to your job, and you've cut a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes off your journey. Awesome. You've got to come back the other day, the same way. You're looking at it again, and you go, Jesus Christ, this isn't easy. This is really easy. I've got to do this again. I should just go the easier. Another 25 minutes. I'm going to miss my favourite show. The news is going to be on soon. I'll go through them. I'll go through again. And you stomp down it. Funnily enough, as you go in, you go, actually, I can see the pathway I started this morning. I'll just walk over that again. So you walk through the pathway and you follow the same place you went that morning. And as you walk through and you get to the end, you look over your shoulder and you go, oh, look at that. I've actually managed to push quite a lot of that out of the way now. So the next morning you come out, you just do the same thing. You keep doing that for a whole month. And one day you realise, wow, there's actually a full dirt track there now where I can walk, and everything's actually pushed out of my way. I don't have all of these other obstructions. Yes, there's still spiders. Yes, there's still snakes. Yes, there's still brambles. But you've kind of frightened off the snakes. They're not as close to you as they once were. The brambles you've kind of knocked off because everything's pushed aside. And it's a good solid dirt track. You can actually see where you're going now. Fast forward again 1 month later, City Council says, hey, look at that. Let's mow that grass down and make that look a little bit nicer, because apparently people are using that block. Right, fast forward a couple more months later, and they go, right, well, it's all been mowed down, but they're still walking. There's a dirt track. It's been raining. It's a bit muddy. Let's put down a nice pathway and make it easy for people to walk through. And then next thing you know, there's swings and there's the trees looking nice and there's somebody's planted flowers. So you've gone from that head, shoulder height, brambles, snakes, all of that icky, catchy, nasty, obstructive stuff that was really hard to move through to a path that's been laid down, and there's flowers and it's mown and it's grass and children are playing there and it's a nice environment. Is exactly the same thing as how the brain works. If you have a problem or anxiety or even depression, your mind is that bramble-filled, high grass, full of snakes, scary stuff place. But if you don't allow it to be that way, if you lay down a track of positive reinforcement, which is just stepping over the same track over and over, eventually you'll change the way your mind is. You'll change the state of your mind, and it'll become a beautiful place. It's not scary, that you can go anytime you want to. It's not got control of you anymore. You've got control of it. And that's the lot, my thinking.
And that's the lot that you made up?
Yeah.
And you've walked that lot?
Yeah, walked that lot. So now my mind, I'm currently planting flowers and repainting the swing set because it's been played on for so many times now. So yeah, that's where my mind's at. It's gone from being a dark and scary place, which I found extremely fearful for various reasons. I mean, the snakes represent one thing, spiders represent another, brambles, they represent things. Different people can take this analogy and see it any way they want, but that's how I worked it. And when I got rid of one thing, I replaced it with another thing. So I just built a new pathway for my brain. So every time I would come across something that would scare me, again, waterfall theory, I'd walk into what was scary and come out the other side. And you do that often enough, you just lay down a new pathway. Yeah. So that's the lot.
That's pretty cool.
Not bad.
It started off with me going, okay, this is nice, but
where is she going with this?
Oh, no, I saw where you were going, but I was saying to myself, but this is just a story. And again, you did that magic of turning it into a metaphor, and by the time you were done, I don't know if you picked up on the fact that you were this far off tearing up. The tears were building right up, and you were actually inside that lot, and you were kneeling down and putting in some new flowers.
Yeah.
And you could see that you were doing that.
The nice thing is that at the moment, I was talking about those people that are surrounding me, they were the ones passing me the pots of flowers.
Right. Okay.
Right. So I'm not there in the garden by myself anymore. Well, garden, I call it a garden now. I'm not there by myself. There's other people in there with me. Yeah. Okay. Whereas once upon a time, it was just me and those dark weeds. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I think we've worked that out.
Yeah.
Okay. The things that you're doing that are just a little bit different to the way most people do.
Oh, most people think I'm a bit different.
Well,
my husband certainly thinks I'm a bit different.
I fit that category. My wife just looks at me and shakes her head.
Yeah, my husband does that all the time. I think he's one step off, so just saying you're nuts, but he never says that. He's always very good. I have a very good husband, patience of a saint. When I was going through all of that stuff, and that's one of the really hard things with panic attacks and anxiety and stuff. Partners, family, friends, people who have not gone through that experience find it very hard to understand why you're crying about something. It'll be something truly inane that you'll lose your bundle about.
Yeah.
And it's never just a minor thing. It's always a full-blown meltdown about something, whatever it might be. But for somebody who doesn't understand it or not experienced it, it's very, very hard to grasp. And I give my husband absolute props for you know, not losing his bundle with me. So, what are you doing crying over this, that, the other? No, he never ever said any of that. So always supportive, held my hand. On the rare occasion, held me down and made me sleep. Because insomnia can often be part of the whole package. So yeah, he was always really good. And he makes me laugh like a drain. Oh my God, my husband's so funny, it's ridiculous.
Okay, we're running out of time. We've run out of time. We've gone over time, all of that sort of stuff. So tell me, if people... Well, talk about your business. We haven't talked about your business at all.
Oh,
and
okay.
This is a business person thing.
So my business is called Organise Me Girl.
Organise Me Girl.
Yeah, otherwise known as OMG.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, I work with small businesses and people who find themselves in a state of overwhelm with their business. And essentially it comes down to three things that they're fighting with. One is having structure. Two is implementation of that structure, or and the other one is discipline. And when those three things are out of whack, you have people sitting in a corner rocking backwards and forwards going, I don't know why my business isn't working, I can't find anything, I can't do anything, I'm losing business because I can't get payments done quickly, and that's just because the structure's not there. They're not actioning or implementing those new tactics, and then it just comes down to discipline. If you don't have the discipline, everything's going to go haywire. So that's what I do, is I teach people how to reinvigorate their business by implementing those three elements.
Okay. Cool. And how would they contact you?
How would they contact me? Well, they can find me on Facebook.
Right.
Presently getting the whole web thing happening, which is always such a fabulous challenge.
It's exciting.
It's like one of those things that's going to make you go nuts, honestly. And of course, actually, Facebook is probably the easiest way to find me. Yeah, Facebook. So Organise Me Girl.
Yep.
Or just find me, Leisa Burdette. Yep. I'm there. I'm out there.
Cool. Now, if you can just look into that camera.
Yes.
And say, now, if you want to see the whole interview.
If you want to see the whole interview,
you'll find it on YouTube.
You'll find it on YouTube.
At Outback Hypnosis.
At Outback Hypnosis.
Cool. And now for the encore, if you'd like. And I'm thinking this may not be of need. You may not need this at all, but I'll ask the question anyway. Is there something you'd like to change?
Something I'd like to change? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to really get over my fear of failure. That would be really cool.
You'd like to get over your fear of failure.
Yeah, because it gets in my way every now and then. It's like tripping over barbed wire. Every now and then I think I can jump over it, but I'll just come get my foot caught in it and and I end up in a pile.
So let's do this, just for the hell of it.
All right.
Take me back to the last time you had that fear of failure that you're wanting to get over.
Oh. It might have been even last week.
So it was last week. When last week?
When last week? Oh God, specifically, I don't know.
Yeah, specifically.
You're asking me with I'm hungover.
You were talking about rewiring the brain before. I don't know if that's the metaphor you realised that you were talking about, but you changing the pathway, rewiring the brain.
Yes.
And to do that, you need to start somewhere, and we need to start.
So like an little anchor point.
Oh, don't look too deep into it.
Oh no, that's okay. That's me though. Maybe that's the other thing I should be working on changing.
Yeah. So when last week did you feel this?
I was wanting to do some cards, and I couldn't get my head wrapped
And
around
you couldn't get your head wrapped
and
around.
it was making me absolutely crazy. I thought, oh my God, this is just another thing that I can't get done. This is not good. I need to get my act together.
Okay, so let's go there.
Yeah.
Where are you? What's around you?
Okay, I was at a friend's place, and we were sitting at the table, and I was expressing the fact that I just can't seem to get it done. I can't seem to do it.
I just can't seem to get it done. I just can't seem to do it. And you were expressing that fact.
Yes.
And inside, what?
Frustration.
Frustration.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that frustration, when you just can't get it done, where do you find that frustration?
Well, not in a shoebox in the back of my cupboard. Where do I find that frustration?
You're right there talking to your friend.
Geez, this is
it
always the tough bit when people start doing this to me. Well, it was right in my heart, actually. It was
right in your heart.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like
It's a really tight feel.
Yeah.
Okay. So a real tight feel in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so go there now. Feel that tight feel in your heart.
I'm there.
You got it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, can you just do me a favour and make it a little bit tighter? You can? So
Yeah.
like turning it up. So
Yeah.
if you were to rank it from 1 to 10 at the moment, because it's virtually stopped you from doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
So rank it from 1 to 10 at the moment.
It'd be about a 9.
About a 9.
Yeah.
Can you take it up to 9.5 just for the hell of it? Go on. How's that feel?
No,
You don't like that?
No, it's
not pleasant. Okay,
no.
so it's getting even tighter.
Yeah.
So and that's what it feels like, really, really tight in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. So that tight in your heart.
Woo. Yeah, we're good now.
That's
I know. The one here right in front of us was still red.
Yeah, that's turning right. Sorry. So the maybe we should do this standing still. The real tight that you've got in your heart, okay, and you're feeling that now, and it's about a 9, okay. So what I'd like you to do is just notice it, and tell me, does it have a colour?
Orange. Strangely
It's orange.
enough. Yeah.
Strangely enough, it's orange, okay. And is there any movement there?
No, it's pretty static.
Static.
Actually, no, it's like a scribble. You know when you see those scribbles that kind of look like an atomic, like a ball of string type thing.
Right, okay, so we've got orange ball of string in your heart that's as tight as billiard.
Yeah.
Okay, so that ball of string, what would you have to do to that ball of string to negate it?
My burn it is the words coming
Burn
up.
it, okay,
Yeah.
so what I'd like you to do now is just close your eyes, feel that ball of string tight in your heart, set it alight.
Oh, big yawn. Oh, there goes something going on. Isn't it if you yawn, you're letting go of something?
So where's that string?
Yeah.
And is it burning?
Actually, it's just like incinerated.
Totally gone?
Yeah.
Totally. So feel your heart right now
Yeah.
and tell me what's there.
To say there's nothing there is not quite what I mean to say,
Okay,
but
cool.
nothing
Then
there.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
the time you felt it, that old feeling
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
and take yourself there right now
Right.
and feel what you feel and tell me what you feel now.
Nothing, funnily enough.
Nothing. Okay, so let's look ahead in time, and when is the next time you'll be in that situation where that fear of failure that you used to have will raise its ugly head?
When?
Well, yeah, when?
Who knows?
When? Well, then choose a time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got a time?
Yes.
How far ahead?
Tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, and that
tomorrow
old...
is get stuff done day.
Yeah, oh, good. That old feeling of
Being
fear
limited,
of
yes.
failure and being limited, would have put its head up, and take yourself there now. And what do you notice?
It's not there. It's like I can just get on with stuff.
Okay, close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Now bring up a screen. Maybe it's a TV screen, maybe it's a movie screen, maybe it's an IMAX.
Okay.
It's totally and completely up to you. Now put that picture of you there with no feeling about that old feeling and just run that movie through. And then when you get to the other end and having finished the job,
Yeah.
wind it back and run it through again. That you want to be.
Oh, we're doing a little bit of a pathway. We're laying down a new pathway. There we go. That's much like the lot thinking, really.
It's exactly like the lot thinking. Now run it back and do it again. Did you know that our mind, when it imagines a physical behaviour, the exact same parts of the brain light up under an fMRI?
Oh, really?
Isn't that true? So close your eyes and bring that screen up. And now that that screen's up, run through that movie of you, the perfect you, the way you want to be. Got it?
Yep.
Now rewind it back and run it through again. And now if you want to add another movie to it of 2 weeks' time and 4 weeks' time and 6 weeks' time and 3 months' time
Yeah.
and a year,
That's getting to be a long movie.
it's a long movie.
I need popcorn
And
for
that
this.
perfect you. Got it there?
I like that.
You like that?
I do. I'm always looking to be a better in increments.
Right.
That's a nice little increment to add to the story of me being a better person. I like that.
So now, just to be sure, tomorrow
Yes.
on the getting stuff done day, when that old forgotten feeling would have shown its face,
Yes.
what do you feel now?
Nothing. Just get on with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Happy?
I am. It's been good.
It has been fun,
Yeah, it's
hasn't
been
it?
fun.
You are sensational, if I may say.
Ah.
Okay,
You say that to
absolutely.
all the girls, I'm sure.
Not all of the girls. Not all of the girls. No, you're great, Leisa.
Aw.
Really had fun today.
Thank
and
you.
I hope you did too.
Yeah, I did. It was good. I love your car. I
I
want
do.
a car like
I
this.
do too. It's great.
Awesome.